Hi, I'm FryGap and thank you for being here. On this channel I will show you how I make my indie game Liquid Man. Before we start, I just wanted to tell you a bit about myself. I have been working as a 3D artist in major visual effects studios on titles among others such as Godzilla, X-Men and Justice League. Now I decided to start my journey as an indie game dev and I want to show you how I'm doing. So let's begin. I will be using a strategy called vertical slice. You may ask, what the F is vertical slice? Let me present it to you. Implementing a vertical slice is like putting together a puzzle. You have to make sure all the pieces fit together perfectly. You can create a small standalone level, a single mission or a small section of an open world game. It showcases all of the core features and mechanics of the final product.
Nice.
Alright, so right now I'm working on a game called Liquid Man and I'm in the process of creating a vertical slice. But I forgot to talk about something that is equally important, and that is the game design document, which is a part of vertical slice. A game design document is like a recipe for a video game. Just like a recipe tells a chef what ingredients to use and how to prepare a dish, a game design document tells game developers what elements to include in a game and how they should work together. It's like a blueprint for a video game, detailing everything from the characters and storyline to mechanics and user interface. Every game should start with a game design document. It saves time and money. So let's go back to my game Liquid Man. Let me tell you what this game is all about. Sewage Planet is getting full and overflowing with slime. Other planets are dumping sewage there. Sewage Council sent a recon team to find a new place to build a new sewage home, but went missing in action. Council has to send soldiers with special abilities to search for missing team. Those abilities consists of liquid powers and adaptation. The planet that the search will take place is Earth. So now I'm working on my main character in the game. It will have different stages of transformation. I have modeled and designed the character in ZBrush, then I took that to Maya for some topology tweaks. Then I made UV maps in software called Rhythm UV. After finishing UVing, I made basic rig in Maya so my character can move in Unreal. Maybe you're watching this and don't know what is modeling, UV mapping, ZBrush or Maya. I will explain simply what those terms mean. 3D modeling is the process of creating three-dimensional representation of an object, scene or character using specialized computer software like Maya or Blender. Topology refers to the way that the 3D geometry is connected and organized in the model. The topology of a 3D model determines its form, structure, and the way that it can be manipulated and animated. Polygons are those small rectangles. They make topology when they are connected. Also, there can be triangles as well. What is ZBrush? ZBrush is 3D sculpting software where you can sculpt but in your computer. What is UV mapping? UV mapping is a technique in 3D computer graphics for projecting a 2D image onto a 3D model surface. It's often used for texturing 3D models with images such as adding a wood grain texture to a wooden object or a brick pattern to a wall. The process involves unwrapping the 3D model into a flat 2D representation and then applying the image to it. The resulting 2D image is mapped back onto the 3D model so that the image is displayed on the model's surface. This mapping allows the image to wrap around the curves and shapes of the 3D model, creating a more realistic appearance. UV mapping is an important part of the 3D modeling process as it provides a way to add detailed textures and materials to 3D models. Rigging in 3D refers to the process of creating a virtual skeleton for a 3D model, which can then be used to control the model's movements and animations. The skeleton or rig is made up of joints and bones that can be manipulated to pose the model in various positions, much like a marionette or puppet. Rigging can be a complex and time-consuming process, but it's an essential part of creating high-quality quality 3D animations. A well-designed rig allows animators to easily control the movement of a character or object and to create realistic and believable animations. There are many different techniques and tools used in rigging, including inverse kinematics, forward kinematics, and rigging scripts. Okay, so now I go to Unreal Engine, and there for stage 1 character I made some logic for input. I used enhanced input system, and here I applied camera input for gamepad and movement input, left, right, forward, backward movements. You have jump input, setup, run input. In the animation blueprint we are getting character velocity, we get the movement threshold, so the movement is better. We're checking if the character is falling, getting character direction, and just prints on the debugging print on the screen so I know what's doing what. We have a movement state machine which basically checks if the character is standing or walking, and here if we play so on the left, and if we move right it starts to walk, and then if the speed is changing and it's more and more and more, it starts running. And when we hit play in Unreal, the character is moving. It's a little bit sliding, but it's prototype, so there is no jump information. And if we press shift it starts running. I also added some movement on the body, so there is some sort of like something under the skin. Let's talk about control rig. So I'm using chain harmonics node in the control rig to animate those tentacles. I actually applied that node to every tentacle. I have like 30 of them. It's because I just want to have a creative control for every tentacle, so you can adjust speed, wave frequency, wave amplitude, and you just need root of the tentacle. Like if you turn on like all of the bones, you can see how it's moving there. It's just I'm applying movement from the root and it's like going like this. In the next video I will show how I make the transition between the stages 0 and 1. If you have any questions, leave them down below in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell button so you won't miss a video.